The Sydney Harbour Bridge, built with grit, forged in fire. This is the Sydney Harbour Bridge. A 52,800-ton steel legend built by hand with sweat, grit, and a whole lot of guts. It stretches across the harbour like a clenched iron fist, connecting a city, carrying a nation, and standing proud through peace, pressure, and the occasional seagull ambush. It all kicked off in 1923. After World War I, Australia was struggling. Jobs were scarce. Morale was low, so we said, let us build the biggest steel arch the world has ever seen. Because if anyone could, it was us. There entered John Bradfield, engineer, visionary, and owner of a mustache that could part the ocean. His dream? Unite the city, boost the economy, and show the world Australia could build something that would stand the test of time. They built the arch from both ends, cantilever style, like two steel arms reaching in for a handshake. No scaffolding, no drones, just maths, muscle, and pure confidence. And workers stood 134 meters above the harbor. No harnesses, no helmets. They caught red-hot rivets flying through the air, and hammered them in before they cooled. Over 6 million rivets. 16 lives were officially lost during the build. One worker fell, swam to shore, climbed back up, and got back to it. That's not training, that's grit. And they used granite from Moruya, steel from England, and determination from everywhere else. By 1932, the arch locked in, off by just a few millimeters. Close enough for a rivet and a break. Week's opening day, pure Aussie theater. A bloke named Francis de Groot cut the ribbon early, on horseback with a sword. He wasn't meant to. But hey, it made history. But this bridge wasn't just built for traffic. It was built to represent strength. And in 1942, it stood ready when Sydney faced real danger. January 1st, 1942. 3 submarines from the Japanese Navy entered Sydney Harbour under cover of night. Their mission? Disrupt Allied naval activity. Their dream target? The Harbour Bridge. One sub got dangerously close, skimming just beneath the surface. It was intercepted just in time. But another struck a naval ship, the HMS Kootabool, and 21 lives were lost. After that night, Sydney took no chances. The bridge became fortified. Anti-aircraft equipment was installed near the pylons, machine gun posts were placed nearby. Lookout stations were built into the towers, train lights were turned off at night. Searchlights scanned the skies, and emergency plans were drawn up, including how to dismantle the bridge if it ever had to be protected. But the attack didn't come again. And the bridge? It never flinched. It stood firm, not just as engineering, but as a national symbol. And it's still standing. Still expanding in the heat, still carrying over 200,000 vehicles a day. It's been climbed, painted, and yes, pooped on by generations of birds, but it's never let us down. Fun fact, Paul Hogan worked on it as a rigger before he ever said, that is not a knife. It's not the longest arch in the world anymore, but it's still the heaviest, the widest, and the most unapologetically Aussie. Built by hand, held up by grit, standing strong when it mattered most. The Sydney Harbour Bridge, a monument to who we are and what we can do when we stop doubting and start building. And the only question left is, what's your bridge?